Hello and welcome to London Turkish TV. I'm YAŞAM and thank you for joining us this evening. Today being the 8th of March, happy International Women's Day to all you amazing ladies. I'm very fortunate that on this special day we have a remarkable 60-year-old woman who was diagnosed with cancer, a survivor who marks her 6-year anniversary cancer-free, and we'll be hearing her true story of how it transformed her life positively. From cancer to a healthier, happier and active life is our topic today. So I have great pleasure in introducing to you our special guest, Nadjie Butler.
Hi everyone. Good evening. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today. Happy International Women's Day to you all.
Happy International Women's Day to you too. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
In your own words, could you just describe yourself to the audience, what you do?
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm here tonight to talk to you about how cancer transformed my life for the better, giving me a healthier and happier life. And I'm going to share some of that with you this evening.
Oh, how lovely. How lovely is that? And there's a photograph of you actually that's just come up on the screen. And you've got your breast cancer top on.
Yeah.
So how did your journey with breast cancer begin?
Well, it started unexpectedly in 2015. I decided that I wanted to get fit and I'd signed up for a charity bike ride with Women v Cancer. And the following month, I discovered that I had breast cancer myself.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm really pleased that you're here to share your positive story with us. How did you manage to go through this event while having cancer treatment, and what challenges, if any, did you have to overcome?
Well, I'd already sort of decided that I wanted to raise funds for Women v Cancer. That photo there is actually me at the event being interviewed by Nadjie Butler. I'd already signed up for the event, and actually, although getting a breast cancer diagnosis was a real shock to me, having the event in my sights gave me something to focus on and help me through the treatment. So I spent my time trying to get fit and be able to do the ride. And because I'd been diagnosed with breast cancer, so many people were generous with their donations for my fundraising that it really sort of spurred me on to keep going through the treatment.
Oh, wow. So in a way, it was like an incentive for you to continue.
Absolutely. And it helped me mentally as well. It helped me focus on something other than the treatment that I was going through.
I guess it gave you a bit of normality, didn't it? Just, just doing something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can understand that. Yeah. What support and advice would you give to others going through a similar situation?
Well, it's really important to make use of the resources around you. During my time of treatment, I was very lucky to get support from Breast Cancer Care, get support from Macmillan. I joined a breast cancer support group as well, and to sort of take good care of yourself as well. That we're very lucky in the UK to have some fantastic resources around to support you. And the final thing really is to take good care of yourself. I know we'll speak about this a bit more sort of in the closing comments, but early diagnosis is everything. So get to know your body and take good care of yourself.
So that's a great message that you're sending out to our viewers today. Early detection is everything. So checking yourself and getting to know your body, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, what we need to remember is that a lot of women are going to get breast cancer in their life. Unfortunately, 1 in 7 women are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer. It doesn't have to be a death sentence. If you're able to catch it early you can have successful treatment that will help you through that. And not to forget also is that although it's a lot rarer, men can also get breast cancer as well. So I can see coming up on the screen there's some really good resources there to help you. So Macmillan and Breast Cancer Now are really great resources that have got helplines and support in place to help you.
Okay, that's very useful to know. So the support out there, you know, there is support out there. You're not on your own. So that's very encouraging to know. And there was yourself as well. I did see yourself in that flip collage as well.
Yeah.
And you was looking beautiful, actually.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, chemotherapy takes all of your hair from all, and everything, and eyelashes and eyebrows and the whole lot. And one of the things that I learned during that time was to keep wearing my lipstick and my eyeliner. But also, it's the first time I'd ever used false eyelashes, because I didn't have any eyelashes, so I learned how to do that as well. But yeah, fortunately, all my hair's back now.
Yes, so it's all grown back healthily. That's good to know. Yeah, I think with especially the symptoms, you kind of lose your identity a bit. So it's quite important to put your makeup on and feel like yourself. It gives you that, you know, just makes you feel more like yourself, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of the support networks that are there through Breast Cancer Care and Macmillan offer things like classes that you can go along to where they help you use products and things, you know, to sort of teach you how to tie headscarves and all sorts of things to help you feel sort of like you and feel, you know, normal and as best as you can during your treatment.
Yeah, we also have a video of you with breast cancer ribbon. So we're just going to have that come up on the screen in a moment.
Okay.
We're down here in Trafalgar Square for Breast Cancer Care's Pink Ribbon Tour. It's a fantastic cycling event. 1,000 women are going to be taken to the same course that the professionals are going to be cycling this afternoon, and they're all raising money and awareness for breast cancer care. We know that after a diagnosis of breast cancer, exercise can be really beneficial. A lot of people find it's a really positive way to take control of their body again, and also there is now proof that exercise after a diagnosis helps reduce the reoccurrence of breast cancer. So there's really positive reasons for wanting to take up exercise.
So I'm so proud that the finale of the Women's Tour, for the first time ever, is taking place here in London. It's great to see Breast Cancer Care raising really important funds for the charity. We've had women riding through London for Breast Cancer Care. We'll have loads later on today for the actual finale of the Women's Tour. One of the great things about the Women's Tour coming to London is it will help encourage, inspire many, many other girls and women to cycle, which is good for all of us.
Part of a celebration tour for 25 years of Pink Ribbon is just a real privilege, and as somebody that's now classed as a breast cancer survivor and has had that great support for breast cancer care, I really want to give something back and to continue to help inspire and spread the word and motivate other women.
So that was quite great, actually, seeing you in that clip. Do you want to just talk about that a little bit more? About that event?
It was really from the first time that I got involved with Women v Cancer, which is a charity that supports all three of the women's cancers, which is Breast Cancer Care, which is now Breast Cancer Now, Ovarian Cancer Action, and Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust.
Yeah.
I really had such a great experience being with women who had all been touched in some way by women's cancers, that it spurred me to continue to fundraise for those charities. And for the Pink Ribbon Tour, I was asked to become an ambassador for breast cancer care, be part of that, raising awareness of the 25-year celebration of the Pink Ribbon, which was a real privilege for me to do, and so delighted to help to raise awareness, because although I'm celebrating being 6 years cancer-free this month, there are so many women that are still going through treatment, that are yet to be diagnosed, that are not alive today, that I really want to continue to help support.
That's very nobling of you. That's very, very nice. That, I guess it's something you hold really close to your heart, isn't it?
Yeah,
Having
absolutely.
gone through it yourself.
Yeah.
In regards to, because I know you sort of cycled your way through your treatment with cycling, what's the furthest you've actually cycled?
Well, the furthest I've cycled is 250 kilometres in one day.
Oh, wow, that's extraordinary.
Which is 155 miles. Yeah, so really going from little or no cycling back in 2015, I've managed to build myself up to those distances. I've mostly done it actually through signing up for fundraising charities for Women v Cancer, because it's been a way to help me stay fit and well and healthy while raising vital funds for really important charities.
Oh, lovely. So like you say, it's giving you that spur, isn't it? Because once you sign up, I guess, you're committed to do it, aren't you? It means you've got to do it.
Absolutely. Those days you don't feel like doing it, you realise what you're doing it for. And also when you're doing the challenge and it's really hard, I think about all those people that I'm doing it for, and it gives me an inner strength to carry on.
Lovely. And in total, you're a top fundraiser. How much have you raised in total with your fundraising achievements?
So today I've raised just over £30,000 for cancer charities. Yeah.
And do you know what's happened to some of that money, or do you know, like,
well,
you've done hospitals, haven't you? Yeah,
I've done various challenges, but mostly my fundraising's been for Women v Cancer, and one of the reasons why I've chosen them as my favourite charity is not really the right word, but one of the reasons why I support Women v Cancer is because they split the funds between breast, ovarian and cervical cancers, and ovarian and cervical cancers are cancers that are less easy to detect than breast cancer. So things like research into testing and early diagnosis are so important, and that's what the funds go towards.
Lovely. So yeah, definitely. I'm sure they're really, like, I'm in complete admiration of, how much you've raised. We've got some lovely comments coming in. So I'm just going to have a look at the comment box. And we've got Yili, who said, "Hi ladies, happy International Women's Day." So happy International Women's Day to you, or to all our viewers that's watching. Shepnem Igil has said, "Love you, Nadj," with a little heart, as you can see on the screen.
Hi, Shep.
And we've got Yili, who said, "You're a true inspiration, Nadjie." I think that's very true, actually. You're very inspiring. And especially, I think it's been lovely that we've been able to do this on this particular International Women's Day as well, because you are, a woman that's just achieved so much. There's been lots of, Brenda has said, lots of positive messages, Nadjie. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda.
Ziver has said, "You're a true inspiration."
Thank you.
Lots of support this evening. We've got some more comments coming up. "You are an inspirational woman, Nadjie." That's from Naima Kale.
Thank you.
So what I will do is I will continue with further comments a bit later on. But if anybody's got any questions for you as well, I know we can take on questions a bit later on as well.
Oh, absolutely. You can ask me anything.
While we've got you here. I know that obviously while you're cycling, you must go through some beautiful locations, and it takes you probably to some great scenic routes and stuff. So while you've been cycling, what's your favourite location and one that you've mostly enjoyed?
Well, I have to say that my favourite overseas challenge for Women v Cancer was India. It reminded me a bit of when I was really young. We drove. My uncle came over from Cyprus, and we drove back with him, and we went through Istanbul, and in India very much reminded me a bit of Istanbul, you know, the colours and the smells and the people and the food. And as you can see from that collage, it was just the most incredible experience and an absolutely beautiful country that I'd love to go back to.
Oh, yeah, your photos look fantastic, actually. I can see, yeah. It looks like you had a great time. So, you know, you sort of really got to experience the culture out there, didn't you?
Yeah. It was lovely, really, really lovely. Very, very lucky to have experienced that.
And what words of advice would you give to anyone that wants to get into cycling? I mean, they can see these beautiful locations if they cycle, can't they?
Yes. So some of those photos there are some of the different cycling projects that I do, and one of the things that I do is I'm a volunteer ride leader for British Cycling, that's helping to get women into cycling. So I definitely recommend you looking up the British Cycling women's rides and going along to one of those. They're free to go along to, and there's volunteers all over the country that will be happy to support you in getting into cycling. Also, the local authorities provide some free cycle training for you as well, so you can get in touch. Look on your local authority website and put in cycling, and it will come up with some cycling training that you can take part on. If you've got a friend that's got a bike, then just get them to go out with you. Or come over to Gansey and visit me, and I'll go for a bike ride with you.
Oh, how lovely! And do you have a favourite location?
So I do a lot. I'm very lucky to live very close to a beautiful country park, so I do a lot of cycling there, mostly because it's traffic free, and people that are getting back into cycling really like the fact that they're able to do that without having to worry about cars or anything. Yeah.
So there we go. So there's a lot of information out there if you're someone that wants to get more active and wants to get into cycling. I've also going to say to you, because obviously, you know, it requires a lot of training, doesn't it, to be cycling? And I know we've been like, you know, with a lockdown, a lot of us have been quite indoors. So how have you coped during the lockdown phases? You know, how have you been coping, shall I say, with cycling? Have you...
Well, that photo of me is, well, I wish I looked like the one on the right hand side of that collage, but the one on the left is me. So last year, in May, I bought an indoor cycle trainer, which is something I never thought I'd do, but obviously during lockdown, it was something that that gave me an opportunity to cycle indoors. And the pic on the left is my avatar that appears on my cycling app that I use, which is called Swift. Yeah. So that's what I use now to help me cycle indoors when it's not safe to go outdoors.
That's really good. So you're still keeping it up, aren't you? You're still keeping up with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've still got some challenges to come up, so yeah, I have to. And also, you know, I find it helps me mentally and physically. I feel good when I cycle. You know, it helps my mental health as well, and hopefully, you know, helps me keep fit and healthy to ward off anything nasty that might hit me in the future.
Okay, I'm just going to go back to our comment section again and just have a look, just make sure if anybody's got anything they want to sort of, any questions they want to ask. So we've got Selena Memsey, who said that you're amazing, and she put a little heart.
Oh, thank you, Selena.
Naima Cullen, who said you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yili has said, wow, £30,000. You're a superstar, Nadjie. And I think, you are incredible that's a phenomenal amount to raise and to continue to still do so. I know that you obviously must enjoy it with a passion, you can tell.
Thank
Sonia
you.
Mann has said, amazing superwoman. So glad I met you in Vietnam.
Yeah, I can see some of my Women v Cancer
how lovely.
friends are on here, yeah, and really, yeah, Sonia I met in Vietnam, and Sonia and I also cycled in Costa Rica as well for Women v Cancer, so we've been to some fantastic locations together, and that's one of the things that's really sort of inspired me to continue to fundraise for these important charities, because so there's so many incredible women that are doing it for their own reasons, or because they've lost somebody, or because they want to help women who get diagnosed with women's cancer in the future have better outcomes. And I've met some incredible people, including Sonia. Love you, Sonia.
I know it must be, really, quite nice for you to make so many new friends, because you all kind of support one another. So it seems like there's a really nice support network there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is good to know. Just a few more comments before we move on. So Zivera said, you're a strong woman, a born fighter. You have done amazing. And I think it's quite important to actually give recognition for that today in particular, that you have done amazingly well. Selena Memzi has said, perfect subject for International Women's Day. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And Sonia said she loves you too. So a lot of love in the room today.
There is. I'm feeling it. It's nice.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit more about cycling for you and what it involves?
Okay, so as you probably gathered, I've done a lot of cycling since I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I've really enjoyed it, both through fundraising but also through my volunteer work. And what I wanted to do was to be able to work in the community and help all sorts of people get into cycling, because the benefits of it are just so great. And so I set up Cycling for You to run community projects that get all sorts of people, from kids through to adults, cycling. So sort of my work that I do now. I'm currently working on 2 projects that are starting. One's starting after Easter, one's just started.
Okay.
The first one is for 14 to 17-year-old girls. So I'm running a project for...
Oh, sorry. We've just lost connection there, I think, with Nadjie. We'll just wait. Hopefully she'll come back on. Just lost a little bit of connection there. We'll try and take her off and bring her back on. We have got the breast cancer video there that's playing. So that's the breast cancer. Oh, there we go. She's back again. Hello, can you hear me?
Have you lost me?
Yeah, well, you did lose connection slightly, but it's
there.
okay. I think it just must be the Wi-Fi connection.
I'm not quite sure where I got up to. Okay.
So we're not sure.
No, I was just saying that I'm working on a project for teenagers. Yeah, I was just talking about 2 of the projects that I'm working on with Cycling for You. One is for 14 to 17-year-old teenage girls, which is so important given that the challenges they've had to face with homeschooling and also at that age going through puberty and concentrating on academic achievement. So what we're going to be doing with them is we're going to be bringing them together in a club, an outdoor club, doing cycling and walking. And then after Easter, I'll also be doing a project for adults, which will also be cycling and walking. So really sort of taking my passion for how good you feel with outdoor activity out into the community.
And I think especially after the lockdown period, it's quite good for everyone just to be outdoors, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've all been cooped up for too long, haven't we? So, and I think, aside of
Yeah.
of a breast cancer, we've all got challenges around mental health because of the terrible situation we've had to go through for the last couple of years. And, outdoor and physical activity is a great way to help you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point to make. They always say the more exercise you do, the more positive it benefits your mental health, even if it is just walking. Listening to your projects there that you're going to be having, it seems like there's something for everybody. So there's something for teenagers and adults too. So whether you're into cycling or not, you could be walking too.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the reason I started doing walking as well is because some people said to me, I didn't feel like they was fit enough to cycle. You don't really need to be really fit to cycle, actually. But if you feel like you're not ready to sort of get on a bike, but if you don't feel like you're not ready to get on a bike, or you want to do something a bit more social, then walking is the perfect way to do that. So we run walks as well that we link into nature conservation as well, and they've been really, really popular.
Oh, I think I'll have to join you on one of those, actually. Even I'm quite interested.
You'd be very welcome.
Oh, thank you. Do you have any upcoming cycle challenges planned?
Well, it's funny you should say that. So next Wednesday is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday for then.
Thank you. And as you know, that this month I'm celebrating 6 years being cancer free.
Yes.
And breast cancer now have launched a challenge for this month to cycle 300 kilometres in a month. And what I thought I'd do was make it a bit tougher for myself. So I'll be cycling 300 kilometres in a day, which is about 186 miles. I'll be doing that next Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be doing that next Wednesday. I'm making it a bit easy for myself because I'll be doing it on my indoor trainer, so I won't have to worry about.
So the weather doesn't matter.
The weather doesn't matter. When it gets dark, it doesn't matter, and I won't have to stop at traffic lights and things. So I'm doing that next Wednesday, and also in 2022. I'm doing another challenge for women with cancer, and I'll be cycling in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, there's a banner we've got of that. So that's in 2022 you'll be doing that.
That's right, yeah.
So that'll be another location I bet you're excited to go to.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm not doing any more overseas challenges because of the fundraising's quite tough. But it's the combination of cycling in a beautiful country while raising funds for women's cancers is just too tempting. So yes, I'll be going to Sri Lanka in 2022.
Oh wow! I'm sure you'll have a great time, won't you? You won't regret it.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Just some relevant comments actually that are coming up. Selena Memzi have said you are an inspirational woman today. Very, very much so, which is why we wanted to call you onto the programme today. Yili Rose has said, happy birthday, hun. Wow, what a challenge. Good luck, hun.
Thank you.
That is a challenge, especially on your birthday as well. I mean, you could be doing other things like eating birthday cake, but you're going to be cycling.
I just thought, most people that have known me over the years have known that I've pushed myself to take on cycling challenges. And one of the reasons that I do that is because if I make it hard for myself, I feel like I've really earned the donations that I've received through the fundraising. And I thought, really, what better day to do it on my birthday? Because we know we're still in sort of semi-lockdown, aren't we? And there's a lot of people that are going through cancer treatment at the moment. There's a lot of people that have yet to be diagnosed with cancer, and I'm very lucky to be celebrating 6 years cancer-free. So I really want to. I'll be thinking of those people. I'll be thinking of some of my friends that are in treatment at the moment. I'll be thinking of people that have lost loved ones, and I'll be cycling those miles for them so that they can have a brighter and better future and a better outcome.
Yeah, I think we've all got somebody close to our heart that we've either lost through cancer. So, you know, for you to be doing that, and, you know, it's just total admiration for you. I really am, for continuing to do that and still support, you know, the charities that you do and the fundraising that you do. So you've already talked about any future projects that people can get involved in. I know there was a flyer that did come up on the screen. So if anybody's interested in anything, they can contact you, can't they?
Yeah, the project that I'm going to be running at Fairlock Waters will start after Easter. So if anybody's living over sort of, you know, northeast London, so Gantill, Ilford, Redbridge, that way, they're really welcome to sign up for it. It's free to come along. We'll be doing cycling, we'll be doing walking, we're going to be doing some mindfulness walking as well. So it doesn't matter what your ability is. This is adults only, this project though, but doesn't matter what your ability is. It'll be great to see you, and guaranteed that you'll have fun and a great time.
It looks like it'll be a great fun. Yeah, it really does. I think, you know, when there's a group of you, it's just so much better, isn't it? Like, you know, the time just goes so much quicker as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that particular project has been funded by the Greater London Authority, so the Mayor of London. It's called Active Londoners, so it's to get people active, and one of the things that they really are keen to do outside of the physical activity is to foster social integration and social experiences, because a lot of people have felt quite isolated and lonely during lockdown, and one of the things that these projects do is bring groups of people together. So it's not just having fun and getting fit and being outdoors, it's actually meeting new people and hopefully forming some new friendships as well.
Yeah, so that's really, again, just positives, isn't it? Everything is just positive, and, you know, sometimes it's worth it to give it a go if you've never done it as well. You never know, you might enjoy it. To what age do you teach cycle coaching for beginners? Because I know that you do cycle coaching, which you've mentioned.
Yeah, it's you're gonna see one of my, I think there's a little video coming up with one of my little guys. Let's just let that play. I can't hear any sound on it, so I'm just going to talk through it. So that little chap there, his name was Toby, and he came over.
This is Toby. We just taught him to ride. Look at him, look. He couldn't ride a bike before, and now he's going round crazy. Come over to Fairlock Waters and try a bike, and let's teach you to ride as well. Look at that. Well done, Toby.
So yeah, pretty much it's any age where the child is comfortable, you know, just having a go on the bike. Really, it doesn't really matter what age they are. But that I love that video. I really love that video, because that was Toby. I think he was about 3 or 4. He wasn't very old, and he'd never cycled before. And we taught him how to. Well, I taught him how to ride.
Well, isn't he? Yeah.
And he could not get off that bike. And when his mum came to pick him up,
isn't he? He's really enjoying himself.
He was crying. He just was crying. He didn't want to go because he just loved it so much. It's so great to see, particularly children learning to ride. Well, anybody actually, you know, adults as well. Is the freedom they get when they can do that. Look, he's just flying along. He couldn't stop, mind. He wasn't very good at stopping. But so really, you know, normally I mean, you need to be able to communicate with them. So it's probably around about sort of 2.5, 3 is the youngest that we normally teach. Yeah.
And it might seem like a daft question, but can anybody cycle?
Yeah, and yes, anybody can cycle. Yeah, some people it takes a bit longer to learn to ride. I mean, most of us have cycled when we was a kid, and we just need to be reminded how to do it. But yeah, absolutely, anybody
So
can cycle.
there's no upper age limit to it. I mean, I'm a little bit out of practice myself too, I have to confess.
No, no, anybody can cycle. It's just, it's just a matter of a bit of practice and a bit of coaching and I mean, I think a lot of the inhibitions that people have about cycling is just they're just worried about falling off and things like that but we can take you to areas where there's nice soft landings, so it doesn't matter if you top or off. But anybody can learn to cycle, and it's a great feeling when you can.
Yeah, I mean, there we go, isn't it? It's just something like a different incentive. Even I feel like I want to get on my bike after seeing Toby's video because he looks like he's having so much fun and really enjoying himself. And just seeing, like all this fantastic stuff that you've done, really. So it's been quite inspiring.
Believe it or not, I was just going to say that it only took him about half an hour to learn to ride. I mean, to be fair, kids really pick it up quick, but it was just half an hour and he was riding. And he had this massive smile on his face. It was just brilliant, really brilliant.
Yeah. So that's quite rewarding, isn't it, for what you do? It's quite rewarding. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
So the quote that's going along the bottom is really my quote, really, to say that you're capable of so much more than you believe, because I never could have dreamed that I would be capable of doing what I've done. And, even when I set myself, really big challenges, I think I just don't know. I think, I'm not going to be able to do that, and of course I have to train and put the effort in. But when it comes to, I don't know where those photos have come from of me. Nice photos popping up.
Behind, which is, it's nice.
They've come off of Facebook or somewhere. As you can see, I like taking photos of myself. But what I was trying to say was, the strength that you find in yourself to do things is something that's lurking inside all of us. We all have that inside of us, and some of the things that I've done, I never thought that I would be able to do. So don't limit your dreams, and don't think you can't do something. I'm next Wednesday I'm going to be cycling 300 kilometers. It'll be the furthest I've ever cycled in my whole life ever.
Wow.
And I'm going to do it. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to do it. It's probably going to take me about between 12 and 14 hours, but I'll do it. And just believe in yourself, try new things, and live life and enjoy yourself and live the best life that you can.
Oh, thank you. So I think the message there is just not to give up, and like you said, you are capable of so much more than you believe. That's a quote that I know that you really like, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because I think that sometimes we limit ourselves because we think we can't do something, and actually, even if you try something and you don't succeed, you've done more than the person that hasn't tried. And it's so fulfilling to be able to do something good, and especially something that helps others as well.
Yeah, lovely. I'm just going to go back to our comments that have come through again in our comment section. So a comment it was actually directed to me was from Musti Chyla. He said, I'm wonderful, and he's proud of me. So thank you very much for that. And then there's another comment from Musti Chyla, which says, my deepest condolences to those that have lost their lives due to cancer. Yes, may they rest in peace, and they are, thought of. Esme Hussein Fisher has said, wow, an amazing challenge.
Thanks, Ez.
Yili has said, I would definitely be joining one of your walking sessions, Nadjie.
You'd be very welcome.
Jill Liman has said hi.
Hi.
And another cycler, because she said she loves cycling.
Yeah.
Yili has said, it's so rewarding for you to be teaching kids and adults when you see them cycling after your sessions. Yes, because you've helped them, haven't you, to come along.
It is,
a long
you know,
way.
the last project that I ran at Fell at Waters, we had a lady who couldn't cycle, and her husband and her children could cycle, and she was coming along for cycling lessons in secret. And on her very last session, we managed to get her cycling, and she wanted to surprise her family by being able to ride. And the smile on her face when she finally did it was just priceless. Yeah, so yeah, it's great. It's great.
Jill has also said, you're amazing, Kaz, so I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
And then Tahi Bear has said, hello, beautiful ladies. Hello, Tahi Bear. So before we draw, it's been, it's that time already. Before we draw the show to a close, is there anything else, any final words you'd like to say?
I think, sort of going back to sort of the sort of core of the topic around breast cancer, but not just breast cancer, but as I said to you, ovarian and cervical cancer, close to my heart through the work that I do with Women v Cancer, is it's so important to notice your body and changes in your body. I was very lucky that I actually found the lump in my breast myself. And so it was an early diagnosis, and noticing changes in your body and seeking help from your doctor when you see them is everything. Similarly with smear tests, going for smear tests, and a lot of things have kind of fallen to the wayside because of the pandemic, but I can't stress to you enough the importance of early diagnosis. I know there's a couple of people on this session now that I know have had breast cancer and are here also living cancer free, and I know they would share my view on the fact of really sort of making sure that you keep an eye on your body. I hope, please God, that that cancer doesn't come to find you, but if it does and you found it early, then the treatment in place, to help support you means that you can be like me 6 years on, living a happy and healthy life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I've got some final words I'd like to say. First of all, thank you to all our viewers as well who's actually joined in today, and for all your lovely comments. But in particular, thank you to you for joining us. Thank you for your time. And the message has been quite lovely today. So the message is we've created awareness around breast cancer and all cancers really, like you say, about going for a smear test as well. It's really important to get your checks and don't leave them unattended, because early detection is everything.
Yeah, so absolutely.
So that's the message we're giving. But also, I mean, I know you was diagnosed with breast cancer and you was quite fortunate. 6 years on, you're still here to tell us your story, thankfully. But it's actually been quite positive because you've with this cycling, you've done so much great stuff. So it's not actually, you've managed to achieve so much, and it's sort of impacted your life in a positive way. So you've managed to turn a negative situation into a positive one, haven't you?
Yeah, I have actually. And, I've been very lucky. The people that I've met along the way since I got diagnosed have been really an important part of my journey, because if I hadn't have had breast cancer, I wouldn't have met some of the incredible people that I call my friends today. And I wouldn't have made the life changes that I've made, for a better life. So in a way, it's been a good thing for me, because it has transformed me in a good way. And I'm forever grateful for that. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's tuned in this evening. Some of you know me quite well, so you'd have a lot about my story, and you spent time with me, you know, during difficult times as well, and I really appreciate that. But it's a pleasure to be here amongst, you know, a fantastic audience of inspirational women yourselves, especially on International Women's Day. So thank you very much for taking the time. And if you've got any questions at all, whether it's to do with breast cancer, whether it's to do with cycling or anything else, then please do get in touch with me.
Yes, and I just want to say, I know when we talked about some links, there was some links from Macmillan, and there was another website which you mentioned. What we will do is we will actually write that in the comments section of this replay of this video. Fantastic. So if anybody needs access to those links or knows anyone that might benefit from them, we will actually add those links in as well. So I'd like to say again, thank you again to everybody. And yeah, unfortunately, we're going to say goodbye now to everybody. So good evening to you all. And bye from us.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.